page 8, page 9, and then finally page 10. If there are no corrections to the minutes, could I have a move on a seconder for the confirmation?
So move, Chairman.
Okay, moved by Member Guy, and I will second it. Any matters arising? There are two matters that have been brought to the attention of the committee from the St. Catherine Parish Council. And there's a letter that was sent, and also from the Ministry of Health. Both of those correspondence have been circulated. In the case of the St. Catherine Parish Council, they highlighted some challenges that they were having in relation to producing the appropriation accounts, and also the impact that the current investigation is having on the availability of documents. And so I don't know if there are any comments, questions in relation to those two matters. Member Guy, anything you want to raise on that?
Thank you, Chair. My concern really, as it relates to that, is the challenge that they're having. How do we get around those? I know we had asked for some opinion from the
Ministry of Health, we had
Ministry
asked
of
for
Health,
the
from the Attorney
General's Department, which,
Department.
based on the correspondence, that has not, we haven't received that as
See
yet.
that yet.
Yeah,
So I'm
so I
wondering if it's the same thing obtaining for the other, for this St. Catherine Municipal Corporation.
no, their issues are slightly different. So just to remind persons who may be watching, in relation to the Ministry of Health and their outstanding appropriation accounts, there were concerns raised by current staff members about signing off on accounts which would have predated their employment at the ministry. And we had advised the permanent secretary to seek advice from the Attorney General's Department on it, because persons didn't want to be held accountable and responsible for transactions which they knew nothing about. And so their reluctance to sign off means that the ministry is unable to deal with those outstanding accounts. In the case of, and I'm just opening the one from St. Catherine, they have provided a time frame, but they've also indicated a number of issues. And I'm just give me 1 minute. Let me just, again, for all right. So I'm just reading the letter, which is from the CEO, addressed to the Clerk of the Parliament, dated March 24th. We make reference to our appearance at the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament on Tuesday, March 18th, 2025, to provide an update on the outstanding financial statements from 2021 to 2025. Additionally, the Parliament has taken into consideration the records that were confiscated by MOCA of the JCF during their raid in January 9th, 2025. Based on the internal review of the documents that were taken, the corporation has recognized that some critical documents were taken, and these are not limited to payment vouchers, receipts, statutory information, paid and unpaid payment vouchers, payroll, deduction vouchers, checks, etc. Consequently, the final completion of our financial statements for the period outlined will be subject to the return of these documents taken by MOCA after completing their investigation. Therefore, the corporation has taken the decision to request an additional 3 months for each ensuing year pending the return of the documents. The corporation will continue to provide updates to the Auditor General of Parliament and the Permanent Secretary. And they gave a time frame, their proposed time frame. In this case, I don't think there's anything we can do. We can't. MOCA is doing an investigation. We don't know what their time frames are. I think once they get to a position where they can proceed and can return the documents, then St. Catherine will be in a better position to know where they stand. But at this stage, we just have to wait and see in relation to St. Catherine because they're unable to move at this stage. What we can do, Rosie, is for the Ministry of Health is just to check in with the permanent secretary to see whether the request for the advice has been sent to the Attorney General's department and the time frame for receiving such advice. So we should just check with the Ministry of Health on that. But those are the two matters arising from the meeting last month in March. All right, I'll now go to the substantive.
Yeah, before you go there,
Sure.
the we understand the situation of St. Catherine. That's the time frame is basically open-ended. We don't have any idea as to how soon we'll get that, but I think what we should do as a committee is to ask them to give us an update in, say, 3 months' time as to the availability of the documents back from MOCA, so we can basically have an idea as to how their 3-month extension to each of the dates they had given us previously for each year can be accommodated or will be accommodated.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll ask our committee clerk to check back with the CEO in another couple of months and to see where they are and whether the newly revised time frame is in fact realistic given the MOCA investigation. Thank you, Member Guy. All right, I'm now going to ask about to turn your attention to the draft annual report document, which was prepared by the committee clerk. My intention in terms of process is to go through it page by page. And if there are comments, we just take them on each page. If not, we just keep moving until we get to the end of the document. So the first page is really just listing the
Chair,
yes.
might I say something here? I'll just, Chair, going through the documents. I just want to commend the clerk to the committee for the not only preparation but almost a complete representation of the discussions that took place during the deliberations over the many years. And I think it's just a commendation just now.
Agreed, and I would like to join you in that commendation and to thank the clerk. And she juggles a number of committees, and so it's also important for the public to know because people ask, where are these reports? The parliamentary staff manage multiple joint select committees, other standing committees, and as you can see from the minutes of these types of meetings, we're talking about 10 pages of minutes. They have to sit down, prepare the report. So thank you very much, Rosie, for this report. And yeah, let's go through it. I've gone through it in some detail before, but the first page really relates to membership, and there were 1 or 2 adjustments in terms of the membership. I don't think there's really anything much on page 1. Page 2, an executive summary.
Chair?
Yes.
In the second part, in the paragraph below the one entitled executive summary, the dates here is there's 2021, 2022, but you have 2012, 2022.
Yeah, so it's a mistake.
Right, typo.
Instead of 2012, it should be 2021. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Rosie, you picked that up? That's at the bottom of page.
Yes, Chairman, that's fine.
Okay, all right. All right, page 3.
Chair, can I draw your attention to the section marked summary of findings and recommendation? The last sentence of the first paragraph, well, the second paragraph technically, concerns also expressed by the Auditor General that many of the financial statements that had been submitted by some entities, namely the municipal corporations, were not up to the required standard. And I also wanted to add, and therefore could not be qualified or could not be approved or something to that effect.
Okay.
Because that was the basis for some of the financials going back to the entities.
I'm just trying to find there's an accounting term. Is it, and I'm sorry, we don't have some of those technical persons online. There's an
Not
accounting
qualified.
term, is qualified, that she could not, there's a term you use when what is presented to you is not sufficient for you to offer an opinion.
I think it's qualified, but I'm
It's
not
qualified.
certain.
We don't have member siblings online, you would know. But I do, yeah, I agree with you. I think the real concern was that they were not, what was presented didn't give her an opportunity to offer an opinion on it.
Right.
That's really the main point she made with her
But you
number.
could have that in a chair, worked up to the qualified standards, and therefore an opinion could not be given.
Okay. Let's keep going. So that's page 3.
Also on page 3, chair, it's really another thing, but for best presentation, the UDC 2019, it should be a slash as opposed to
Or full stop.
the full stop.
Okay, all right, yeah. That's at the bottom of page 3. Page 4.
Chair, this probably is just style, but in the section that deals with the second paragraph section that deals with the MDAs, it's just in terms of the sequencing of those MDAs that are there. The Bellevue Hospital, the government chemists. I would have thought that they would be more within the agencies that are the ministries that they fall under. So you would have the government chemists coming under Ministry of National Security, as was the Jamaica Constabulary Force and Department of Correctional Service and Institute of Forensic Science and Legal Medicine. I think the government chemist comes under there too. I think, I am not absolutely certain, but I'm of the view and hence should be included under that area. But the clerk can have, Rosie can have that checked and see whether, but just a style.
Okay. Anything else on 4? I'm noticing online Miller, but could you indicate who is Miss House? Miss House iPhone? You just indicate who that member is, please. I just say Michelle's. Rosie, do you know who that is?
No, Chairman.
Could the person who is Michelle's iPhone, I don't know if it's a member of the committee, just indicate, just so we know who is online. I say member Miller, there's member Henry. I mean, it's a public meeting, but I just want to know who the person is. Michelle's?
I'm present, sir, chair.
Yeah, man, I
Morning.
see you. I see you, morning.
I see
Member.
Michelle's might be
Yes,
Michelle Starr.
it's me, Dr. Michelle Charles.
Oh, sorry.
I'm literally just traveling, so I'll be in and
Okay, all
out.
right.
I apologize.
No problem. I
I'm
just
on
wanted
a
to.
different iPhone. Sorry.
All right, cool. No problem. Okay. All right, let's keep moving. Page 5. And member Miller, please chime in if you have any comments, and member Charles, member Henry as well, as we go through the report.
Yes, sir, chair. No problem.
Page 5. Okay. Moving on to page 6.
Chair,
Yes,
page
member.
5.
Mhm.
the penultimate paragraph and sentence is probably about 2/3 the way down. The contract was expected to be awarded.
Awarded by the end of July.
Yeah, I think probably for better understanding, I think we should have, instead of was, is reported to be awarded, you know?
Is it the English
Because
you're concerned about, or the,
well,
or
also the
credit?
substance of what it conveys as well, you know? Because this is a report coming from the committee, and this contract was expected to be awarded by the end of July. That with implementation directly afterwards could be construed as the committee's representation of it. So I would think that was, instead of was, is, I mean, or we were told the contract was expected.
Or the
you know?
committee was informed that the contract is expected
Yes.
to be awarded?
Yes.
Because that came
I think
directly
that
from
would be better.
I think it was the
Right.
permanent secretary who said that.
So that would be a better representation from our report.
Okay. Anything else on 5?
Chair.
All right, page 6.
Not from me.
All right, page 7. Page 8.
Chair, on page 8, the last sentence, very last, refers to, and I read, Asikuda system as well as operations BFO1. That acronym has not been indicated as to what it is. And there's reference to it as we go into the other sentences.
I think that is in relation to the company, but the report didn't name the company and it just referred to it as BFO1. So in that regard, and I just think a note wherever it is mentioned first just needs to be maybe a bracket to indicate that that is the company in question.
Okay.
Page 9. Page 10.
Page 10, Chair.
Yeah.
The second paragraph, the JCA.
Post clearance audit process, that one? JCA
no,
expressed its intention.
Yes, and then the penultimate line, independent verification, particularly, instead of particular.
Okay. Yeah.
And secondly, Chair, in the whistleblowers allegations, we were that's the penultimate sentence as well. We were informed by the accounting officer. I think it would be a better representation of who the accounting officer was, and I think it was the CEO. Although we know.
We were from that would review the situation.
It's actually the FS, Chairman, accounting officer. It's the FS.
Is the FS? But is the FS the accounting officer? Oh,
yes.
okay.
Of the
For our
Ministry.
purposes,
for the
Right.
ministry.
So the PAC deals with accounting officers who are the permanent secretaries or the
Okay.
FS. But
All right. That's all
I
right
could
then.
just put FS.
FS, yes.
Yeah, probably in brackets, so. Yeah. Anything else on page 10? Page 11?
Page 11, Chair. The separation of regulator and operational role of the NSWME, and then we go to that second paragraph under that heading. And the last sentence there, and I read a section of it, virtue of camp decisions number that where the enterprise team was established with responsibility for the Development Bank of Jamaica.
No, that's,
Within, I think, the DBJ should be
or
the.
working with, I think working with.
No, the enterprise team was established within the DBJ. The DBJ have overall responsibility for the enterprise team. So it can be working with, was established with responsibility within the DBJ, or it could be more properly explained that the DBJ has carriage of that enterprise team.
But I don't think so, because if you read the next paragraph, we were told that the ministry has been working in collaboration with DBJ and the
That's another section, Chair, not necessarily the enterprise team. This was another thing they're dealing with.
But I think the enterprise team is separate from DBJ.
It is.
Yeah.
But that enterprise team is established. My understanding, the DBJ has carriage of that enterprise team.
Okay. So what's the wording then that you would?
I would say instead of for, I said within the DBJ.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else on 11? 12?
Chair, your committee, and that's the third paragraph down. That 4 regulations have been drafted by the NSWMA, and these included, and you have 1, 2, and 3. Probably it would be nice to have the 4th one too.
4th one, yeah. The 4th one is missing there. If we have that.
Chairman, I can only report what was stated, and the 4th was not stated.
Oh, the 4th wasn't stated. Okay.
So that's why I use the word
Okay.
included.
Included. I realized
Okay.
something was not
All
missed,
right.
but
Okay. All
okay.
right. No problem, Rosie. All right. Anything else on 12? Thirteen. Fourteen.
14, Chair.
Yeah.
The lack of financial resources. That's the third paragraph. We have 1, 2, and 3. We have 1, 2, and 4. We don't have a 3 there. And we have 5 and we have 6.
Okay, so the numbering is
7.
all right, so just a number in there, Rosie, to tidy up the numbering.
Chair, could I also go to the end of that paragraph?
The same paragraph with the numbering?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, under 7, carry out the well-needed public education program, including the schools, to seek to influence and bring about the cultural norms associated with improper disposal of garbage. Could I suggest that we bring changes to the cultural norms? Because earlier on, the chairman had indicated that part of the challenge we have with our garbage thing was the cultural norms that people just throw away garbage any and anywhere. So if we are to carry out a much needed public education program, including the schools, to seek to influence and bring about changes to the cultural norms.
Okay, okay. All right, so insert that word, bring about changes to the, yeah. Okay. 14, moving on to 15. $16.
Chair on 16, review of the AG's department performance audit on the UDC. The financial statement, and this I'm at the last line of that paragraph. The financial statements for the financial year 2018 to 2018-19, 2021 were missing. Missing suggests that they will never be able to be found. Is that the case, or is it were not available?
The UDC
We're not
subsidiaries,
presented would be a better
yeah, we're not
Yes.
presented, yeah,
Right, okay.
because it says perpetuating a breach. So it sounds like it is probably there, but the Auditor General doesn't have it. Moving on from 16 to 17. $18. $19.
The first, well, the second paragraph, the MOHW on the other hand, and then we go to the second line, that the Procurement Act was not breached because it had not applicable, should have been
Was
was.
Yeah, instead of it had not, it was not applicable to the
Right.
situation in the first place. Page 20. Page 21. Page 22.
Chair, before you move on from 21, just because of the time that this had taken place, just want to be certain in the Ministry of Health's transfer of 174 million. We see here on the third bullet that putting in place necessary measures to ensure that all officers were
Resensitized.
sensitized. And then the second, this was intended to address the breach of failing to promptly report $50 million cash donation to the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service as required by the FAA Act. That is exactly, just wanted to be certain that it was to the Ministry of Finance.
Well, I think a donation came in to the Ministry of Health,
Okay.
but was not immediately or
Okay.
timely reported
Okay.
to the Ministry
Okay,
of
to report.
Finance.
Okay. Fair
Yeah.
enough. All right. Thank you.
And then it goes further that it really wasn't a cash donation per se.
Yes, Chair. Yeah,
Was
man. Okay.
Yeah, that's page 21. Page 22. Page 23.
Chair, Cornwall Regional Hospital project.
Yeah.
The wording in the middle of that third in that first paragraph under Corner Regional Hospital Project, based on the agreement with the cabinet. The cabinet can't give an agreement. It has to be a decision of the cabinet.
Based on the agreement, cabinet and the use of the design and build and new procurement process was mentioned.
Yes, I mean,
Well, based on a decision by the cabinet.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. '23, moving to '24.
Third to last line on the first paragraph, there's a D left from perceive.
The ministry further advised that the Public Health Act was effectively carried out despite the perceived. Okay, yeah, thank you. It's 24. Anything on 25? Page 26. Page 27. Page 28. Page 29.
Can I get some clarity here, Chair?
Mhm.
Severance and gratuity payments. The withholding of by the authority of gratuity payments to the former managing director. Is it the former or a former? Was it the immediate past managing director?
I think so in this case when the report was done.
Okay.
At the time, it would have been the person immediately preceding the current, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It could be changed to adjournment, given the lapse of time.
Okay, all right. Okay. That's 29. Moving on to page 30.
30, the last paragraph. Second line, and read identification and selection of properties suitable for lease instead of release.
Last paragraph, you said?
Yes, Chair.
Selection of property suitable.
30.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Mhm. Police, okay, yeah. 31. 32. 33. 34. Well, we're at the end of the report. 34. 35 is attendance. And 36 is really signatures. So colleagues, members Henry, Miller, Charles, any comments? Because we have, I see member Sibley's is on as well. Colleagues, any comments on the report, please? Going once, twice, three times. Any comments, colleagues?
No comments from me, Chairman.
None, okay. Member Miller, member Sibley's, you're always
No comment for me.
No. Member Sibley's, you have any comments? Or Member Henry?
At the magnitude of the report overall, I think I'm in full agreement with what we have just provided. I've not been attending our meeting. So that basically, I think that we need to make sure that we do.
So remember, Henry, you can just speak up a little more so we can hear you. Just a
No,
little.
I'm just saying that there's no reason that I mean to intervene on any area. It's well done, well put together, and we need it.
Okay, all right, thank you, thank you. All right, members, again, I want to reiterate Member Guy's original comment in thanking Member Sibley's. You look like you're up in, you look like you're in your constituency office.
Campaigning.
It's an office.
It's an office.
It's an office.
It's the color I'm looking at, so I figure it
Oh,
must be a constituency
don't
office.
use the color. It's
Huh?
my favorite color.
Is your favorite color?
Yes, I have to admit that that color is my favorite color.
And I'm sure it's your favorite color to search here.
Huh?
I'm sure search here is your favorite color as well.
No, absolutely not. You have any comments, Member Sibley's? Because we're at the end of the report. Any comments?
No, Chair, I don't have any comment.
Okay, okay, all right, thank you. All right, members, again, let me thank our clerk, Rosie, for putting the report together, which I think is very thorough, well done. And we will, I believe we'll have a sitting of Parliament next week, so the report will be there for signature and for it to be tabled in the House. Rosie, anything else we need to discuss today, or that's it?
All right, Chair, so I'll update the report and send it out shortly. And there is another report, the Auditor General's Performance Audit Report on managing government's social benefit programs. So the committee can decide.
When was that one tabled?
I don't remember right now, but the
Okay.
comments the response from the ministries have been received.
Okay, all right, so we need to schedule a date to look at that then.
Yes, Chairman, I'll provide some dates
Dates, and then we'll communicate with the committee, okay. All right, members, could I have a motion?
Chair, before you move, before you ask for the motion, just on that point, Ms. Beckford, and that was already circulated, that report was already circulated to members? The one that you just spoke to?
No, normally the report is tabled in the House, and then I ask the ministries to respond, and then after they
so it has not
respond,
reached a stage.
yes.
It has not reached a stage. That's because I was wondering how it sounds like news to me in terms of that report. All right, so when it reached that stage and they would have responded, then it would be we would be so alerted.
Yes, I would normally send the notice for the meeting along with the response and the report.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for the reminder, Miss Beckford.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right, could I, Member Sibley's, you want to move for the adjournment?
Yes, I'll move for the adjournment with my favorite color in the background.
And I second it.
I figure you have a lot of work to do, so.
No,
I second it, Chair.
You're up there.
No, I don't have a lot of work to do at all.
I hear you being kept very busy, very busy.
I second it,
Don't
Chair.
look in your constituency and think it's the same for me.
All right,
All
my
right.
I'm doing my work.
You're doing your work.
Good color.
Maurice.
Dwight,
Maurice, stay
you're campaigning in a suit, man.
Maurice, that's my point. I am not campaigning. I'm at my office.
I see.
I'm at my office. So that's the point. When I'm on the road, I'm on the road.
Okay.
I'm at the PAC meeting.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right, so member Sibley's moved and seconded by
Member Charles.
Member Charles. Okay.
Oh, she loves that
Thank
color
you.
as well.
Thank you very much, members, and we'll be in touch in terms of our next meeting date. Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Have a good morning.
Thank you, Chair. Great day, everyone.
And opposition members to determine if Jamaicans would really be better off with the new law or changes to an existing law. A vote is taken by the House to determine if the bill will move to the committee stage. Sometimes before going to that stage, the minister responsible for the bill can recommend the use of a joint select committee. It's called joint as its members are taken from both the upper and lower house. To benefit from greater consultation, the committee is empowered to invite the public to share their views of the bill in writing or in person, and does so through radio, TV, and newspaper adverts. This Joint Select Committee submits its recommendations to the House of Representatives. The House debates this report, and a vote is taken to determine if the bill should go on to the committee stage, where it is examined by a committee of the whole House. Yes, that's the name. And that's what it is, a committee of all the members of Parliament that carefully examines each clause and makes improvements to ensure the bill will achieve its objectives. As chairman, the Speaker of the House monitors the process to make sure the rules of the House are obeyed and the process moves along smoothly. 4. The Committee of the whole House examines the bill clause by clause, then sends its recommendations for changes to the House of Representatives. This is called the report stage. 5. The bill then passes to the third reading to allow a final opportunity for MPs to make changes before it is sent to senators in the upper house. 6 to 10. In the upper house, the senators go through the same steps we just described. If any changes are made, the bill has to be returned to the House of Representatives for their discussion and approval. Now, if the bill had started in the upper house, it would also have to be returned to them for approval of any changes made by the lower house. 11. Throughout the entire process, the bill is being checked by the Legislative Council. That's the Parliament's lawyer. But before the last step, a copy is sent to the Attorney General of Jamaica for final review and certification. 12. If all is well, the bill is sent to receive the royal assent from the Governor General as the representative of the Queen, Elizabeth II. The bill is now an Act of Parliament. The Act is gazetted, and the rights of Jamaicans are further preserved and protected by a new law.
What can a little germs do?
Pink eye running belly, even flu. Germs can make them happen to you.
Put germs on our manners with these. Cover your mouth when you cough and sneeze. Always wash your hand with water and soap. Keep dirty hands from your eyes and your nose and your mouth. You don't want to be sick, take care. Practice every day, no germs round here. A message from the Ministry of Health.
The following is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
To fight crime and violence in your country, your government has invested over $9.7 billion into national security systems. This includes the construction and renovation of dozens of police stations, the acquisition of critical security equipment such as patrol vessels and police vehicles, the recruitment and training of more police officers, and the build-out of the Jamaica Defense Force. Your government is investing in your safety. We are building Jamaica.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
It must stop. It have to stop. Gang violence is not the solution to our problem. It will only cause pain and suffering. Let's find non-violent ways to solve our conflict. Let's work together to create a safer and peaceful Jamaica. Let's all live good.
A message from the Ministry of National Security. Denise Williams here, inviting you to join us on Financially Focused, the ultimate destination for go-getters who are ready to take the step-by-step actions to master your finances and create a family legacy. Tune in, watch, take notes, and participate to discover the strategies of our expert guests who provide invaluable guidance and powerful coaching tools to supercharge your financial journey.
Tune in to Financially Focused, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. only on PBCJ, the People's Station.
A new story is being written for all Jamaicans. The Ministry of